throwing bananas on the pitch, calling players black monkey, starving. Victims change, so do the perpetrators and the place of the act. But one thing does not. Racism continues to plague La Liga, one of the biggest footballing brands on the planet. La Liga has a tumultuous history of racial intolerance, and more so about the way it deals with it, or how it prefers not to. The latest victim of racial abuse in Spain was Vinicius Jr. The Brazilian was targeted by a man in the stands of Mestalla during Real Madrid's clash against Valencia. The act itself was disgusting, but what happened afterward was even more sickening. Vinicius Jr., after he was convinced by his coach Carlo Ancelotti to play on, was targeted by not a single man, but the entire stadium with racial slurs this time. Carlo Ancelotti was frustrated at the post-match press conference, and rightfully so. The Italian had his priorities straight as he didn't talk about football. There is no meaning in talking about football today. I told the referee he should have stopped the match. La Liga has a problem. Not only the game did not stop, but Vinicius Jr. ended up receiving a red card at the end of it. Ancelotti was frustrated. But the man who was targeted by an entire stadium, Vini Jr., was unfazed. The Brazilian did not hold any punches and took to social media after the 90 minutes. The championship that once belonged to Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Cristiano and Messi today belongs to racists. It wasn't the first time, nor the second, nor the third. Racism is normal in La Liga. Now, when your brand gets associated with such a vile act, you would expect a reasonable person in charge to address the issue most acutely and seriously. Well, the response Vini Jr. received was acute enough, but not all that serious. Javier Tebas, the president of La Liga, fired back at the Brazilian, accusing him of missing out on 2 meetings with the governing body to discuss what it can do in cases of racism, suggesting Vinicius should inform himself properly before accusing La Liga. As the saying goes, a fish rots from the head down. Javier Tebas, the very person who needs to address the situation that's been plaguing the league for so long, has a history of making strong political statements and openly supporting far-right groups in Spain, groups who seek to repeal laws against domestic violence. You know what they say: if it looks like a dog, walks like a dog, and barks like a dog, then it is most definitely not the man who will fight against racism, according to people who are serious about the matter. Contrary to Javier Tebas, Spain do have a problem with racial prejudice, and football is just a stage for it to present itself. La Liga has seen Daniel Alves' viral banana-eating response many years ago, and Vini Jr. losing it for all the right reasons just yesterday, which was just the latest installment in a season filled with attacks to the Brazilian. But these are just the tip of the iceberg. Literally an uncountable number of players have been and continue to be the victim of racial abuse during their time in the league. What happened at Mestalla was just another resurgence, but it was also another chance for La Liga to take action. And unfortunately, looking at the initial response coming from the highest authority representing the league, it will be a missed opportunity to fight against racism. As we have come to the end of this episode, we would like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Do you think La Liga or FIFA in general is doing enough to combat racism? What is the best response a player can give to racial abuse? Be sure to let us know.